what is a deadlock? In previous class we discussed. So deadlock is nothing but, so a deadlock, if a process can contains, there are several number of processes are there. So the deadlock is nothing but no one process cannot be execution. That is nothing but deadlock situation. So waiting for something infinite is time in which there is no progress for waiting process. That is nothing but deadlock. So we will see more number of examples on that. And deadlock characteristics. So ఎప్పుడు డెడ్లాక్ అరైజ్ అవుతుందంటే డెడ్లాక్ కెన్ అరైజ్ ఫోర్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్, దట్ ఈస్ ఫోర్ కండిషన్స్ we have to execute it simultaneously. That is mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption, and circular wait. So these four conditions will lead to the deadlock condition, deadlock situation: mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption, and circular wait. And we have to discuss resource allocation graph. So resource allocation graph is nothing but a graph can contain set of vertices and set of edges. So here a P is nothing but, that is P set, that is it contains number of processes in the set. Whereas R set, that is nothing but resources set, it consists a number of resources in the system. So here there are two types of edges there. One is request edge and another one is assignment edge. So if a process want to access a resource, so that is nothing but, the request edge is nothing but P1 to RJ. So whereas assignment edge, one resource will allocate to the particular process. So then we have to allocate RJ to PI. So this is the resource allocation graph. Here process, resource type with 4 instances. So here PI request instance of RJ, that is PI request an instance of RJ. Under the here resources, there are number of instances on that resource, more than one. So we have to access that resource. So here, this is the assignment edge. Here PI to RJ is nothing but request edge. Here this is nothing but assignment edge. Whereas one instance of resource Rj will assign to the process Pi. This is nothing but assignment edge. So here see that example, in this example. So if a graph can contain cycle, if a graph can contain cycle, must and should there is a deadlock situation. If a graph can contains a cyclic form, maybe deadlock or not deadlock. I mean, must and should it be a deadlock situation. Sorry, if a graph can contains cyclic form, then compulsory it may be occurring a deadlock situation. And may or may not be. Under some situations, it will be 70% it will lead to the deadlock. So if graph can contains no cycles, then deadlock will not occur in that particular processes. So a graph can contain, there is no cycle in resource allocation graph, deadlock will not occur. If there is a cycle in that resource allocation graph, deadlock may or may not occur. We don't say compulsory there will be a deadlock will occur or not. Depends upon situation, it may lead to either deadlock or may not be lead to a deadlock. But that is the difference between, if there is a no cycle in resource allocation graph, deadlock will not occur. If there is a cycle in resource allocation graph, deadlock may or may not occur. This is one simple example how to allocate the resources. Only simple example here, how to allocate the resources to the processes. Here we will not check any deadlock or not deadlock. So here, for example, here requested assignment rate we have to discuss in this example only. P1 request instance of R1. P1 request an instance of R1. This is nothing but request edge. Here Rj is assigned an instance from Rj, that is R2. An instance from R2 is assigned to P1. Is assigned to P1. This is nothing but assignment edge. And also here in this particular resource there are more number of instances. One is allocated, that is assigned to P1, another one is assigned to P2. And also R1 is assigned to the P2. And P2 is accessing that is requesting the resource R3. But R3 resource is allocated already in P3. So this is how to assignment edge and request edge from the processes and resources. This is only example how to assign the resources and how to requesting the resource from process to resources. In next example, so in this particular resource allocation graph, we have to identify whether a deadlock situation will occur or not. So here deadlock will arise or not, we will see. So here R2 is an instance from R2 is assigned to P1 and P1 is requesting an R1, and here P2 is accessing the resource R1, but R2 is also assigned to P2. So here P1, P2, P3 processes are must and should be deadlocked. See here in this graph there is a cycle here. Is it clear or not? In this graph there is a cycle. I told you. So if the graph can contains the cyclic form, so may or may not occur, but here compulsory a deadlock situation will arise. Why? Because there are two types of instances. There are from instance of R2. Here P2 will accessing the instance from R2 and it is waiting for the resource R3. But R3 is not available. It is already held by another process, that is process P3. And P3 also it accessing the resource, that is it wants the resource from R2. But R2 there are only two number of instances. One instance is held by P1, another instance has held by P2. So P3 must and should wait until at what time is P1, P2, any one of the process can release the resource. At that time only here the P3 will get the resource from the that instance from the resource R2. Is it clear? That is a deadlock situation will occur. Here P1, P2, P3 both are in all three processes are in deadlock. So P1, P2, P3, all the three processes are in deadlock situation. Is it clear? Next, see here. So next, this is a resource allocation graph also. It is a cycle, but there is a no deadlock. With cycle, but is no deadlock here. So how? Means ఇక్కడ P1 is, this is a cyclic format. Already I told you definition. If there is a cycle in a cyclic resource allocation graph, deadlock may or may not occur. Here see, there is a cyclic form. but here we will not, deadlock will occur. Why? So process P1 will request the resource R1. But in resource R1 there are two instances. One is allocated to process P2, another one is allocated to process P3. And so here only process P2 only. So whenever process P2 task is completed, automatically it will release the lock and the connection will be removed here from R1 to P2. So at that time that instance is free. So automatically it will allocate that resource R1 to P1. R1 to P1. Here also same situation. So a resource R2 contains two instances. One is assigned to P1, another one is assigned to P4. If P3 want to accessing the resource R2, that is requesting the resource R2. But the resource R2, there are two instances are there. One is assigned to P1, another is assigned for P4. So whenever the task is completed for P4, automatically it will release the lock here. Automatically it will release the connection. అంటే ఇక్కడ connection remove అయిపోతుంది. That instance will be connected to process P3. So this is a resource allocation graph with a cycle but no deadlock. Resource allocation graph with a cycle, the cyclic format, but here no deadlock will occur. That is the resource allocation graph. So already I told you, if a graph contains no cycles means no deadlock. If a graph contains no cycles means no deadlock. If a graph contains a cycle means, that is, if only one instance per resource type, then deadlock will occur. If several instances per resource type, possibility of deadlock. So here see this one. Here more number of instances for each and every resource. So there is a possibility of deadlock. Here there is only one instances in particular resource. Here deadlock will be occur. So if a resource can contains only one instance, that is a deadlock will occur. If resource can contain more than instances, there is a possibility of deadlock. There is a possibility of only one instance only, then it is lead to the deadlock. There is several number of instances in a resource, that is per resource type, there is a possibility of deadlock. So that is the resource allocation graph. That is the resource allocation graph. So in the deadlock situation, we have to handling the deadlock. That means we have to identify the deadlock, that is ignore the deadlock. After ignoring the deadlock, how to prevent the deadlock or how to avoid the deadlock, and how to detect and recovery from the deadlock. So we have to some methods to avoid the deadlock. So there are some methods to avoid the deadlock. So methods for handling the deadlock. So what is the deadlock situation will occur? So in the processes, that is in the systems, we have to executing data. So in sometimes the system will hang up. At that time means the deadlock situation will arise in the system. So whenever the deadlock will occurring in the system, it is not a safe state. It is not a safe state. So in some systems that ignore the problem and pretend that deadlock will never occur in the system. So for example, you have to say there are methods of the deadlock system: deadlock prevention, deadlock avoidance, deadlock detection and recovery. So first we have to ignore the deadlock. Ante first there are some methods. That is, first you have to ignore the deadlock. You have to ignore the deadlock. So ignore means, so before before occurring the deadlock, you have to try to ignore the deadlock is there or not. So for example, you have to take deadlock అనేది ఎప్పుడు రాదండి. Rare condition which will be occurring the deadlock situation. For example, there is only one system and one printer is there. So some more two persons with, that is two processors, that is two persons will come and take the printouts from that printer only. So both are given at the same time. Both are given at the same time. సో అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందండి, సిస్టమ్ ఒకసారి హ్యాంగ్ అయిపోతుంది. అంటే ద ప్రాసెస్ విల్ నాట్ బి కంటిన్యూడ్. అక్కడికి ఏమైపోతుంది, ప్రాసెస్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ అనేది స్టాప్ అయిపోతుంది. వర్క్ అనేది ఏమైపోతుంది, స్టాప్ అయిపోతుంది. సో వెంటనే మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు, అది మూవ్ అవ్వకపోతే యూ హ్యావ్ టు రీస్టార్ట్ యువర్ సిస్టమ్. అలాగే ఎక్కువసేపు పెట్టుకుని యూ హ్యావ్ టు రీస్టార్ట్ యువర్ సిస్టమ్స్. ఇస్ ఇట్ క్లియర్? You have to restart your systems. So deadlock ignore means try to ignore if before deadlock occur. So we have to ignore. What ela ignore chestamante, suppose we have to take one example. If printer is there, only one printer and one system only, two persons will come take the printouts. So at a time, so both persons are given at the same time. So the system will hang. So after that, what you will do, you have to restarting your systems. So then overcome cheyochu kada. How to overcome this? Either deadlock prevention, and prevention is better than cure antaru kadandi. Prevention is better than cure. అంటే అది రాకముందే we have to prevent. How it can be prevent from the deadlock prevention. And avoidance, ఎలా అవాయిడ్ చేయాలి రాకముందే, లేకపోతే ఒకవేళ డెడ్లాక్ సిచ్యువేషన్ అక్కర్ అయింది, హౌ టు డిటెక్ట్ ద డెడ్లాక్ అండ్ డిటెక్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత హౌ టు రికవరీ ఫ్రమ్ ద డెడ్లాక్. సో దీనికి ఓఎస్ అంది. సో ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్, సో విండోస్ కావచ్చు, లైనెక్స్ కావచ్చు, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ మే బి ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్. సో డెడ్లాక్ కూడా ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ కి మెమరీలో సమ్ కోడ్ అనేది ఉంటుంది. సో ఇట్ మస్ట్ అండ్ షుడ్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్, ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ దెర్ ఈస్ ఏ సమ్ కోడ్. So if you want to add deadlock code also to this operating system source code, so each and every operating system there is a source code. So if you want to add a deadlock code also in that source code, you have to perform that, but it does not require. Why? Because rarely the deadlock situation will come. So you have to add this deadlock code also there. Every time you have to start the system, each and every time the deadlock code also check. So అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందండి, system performance is decreasing. System performance is decreasing. That's why we will not add the deadlock code in the operating systems. So we have to add a deadlock code in the operating system at each and every time. You have to start the computer. So it will be waste of memory also. And it each and every time it will be checked throughout the system that where is a deadlock will occur or not. What is the system performance is decreasing, and OS performance also inefficient. So what the purpose of OS? We have to improve the efficiency. That's why we have to use the operating systems. So the methods of deadlocking or deadlocks are, first one is deadlock prevention. The first one is deadlock prevention. So deadlock prevention are nothing but, so already there are 4 necessary conditions to lead the deadlock. 4 necessary conditions to lead the deadlock. That is nothing but, one is mutual exclusion, Next one is hold and wait. The next one is no preemption. Next one is circular wait. Next one is circular wait. Deadlock prevention here. There are 4 conditions. Already we discussed that 4 conditions to lead the deadlock. So one is mutual exclusion. The second one is hold and wait. And the third one is circular wait, the hold and wait, no preemption and circular wait. So first one, so try to find the solution before deadlock occur. So మన సిస్టంలో డెడ్లాక్ అక్కర్ అవుతుందని అర్థమవుతుంది, బట్ ప్రివెన్షన్ ఈస్ బెటర్ దాన్ క్యూర్. సో before getting the deadlock into the system, we will try to find the solution before deadlock occurs. That means necessary conditions for deadlock means these conditions are used to lead the deadlock. So we have to find a solution before deadlock occurs. The first one is we have to either try to remove or all conditions are false. That is mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption and circular wait. We have to try to remove all the conditions or try to conditions are false, or at least we can remove any one of the condition, or you can make it as one condition will be false. So we have to do this type, we can prevent the deadlock. So either try to remove all the conditions or at least any one condition, or all conditions must and should be false, or any condition must and should be, any one of the condition must and should be false. So ante 4 conditions ni meer remove cheyochu, that is we have to remove, ledante aa conditions ni false cheyali. Next situation, among those 4 we can remove any one of the condition, that is we have to make the deadlock prevention. Okay, so first one, mutual exclusion. So mutual exclusion means it is a non-shareable resource. So whatever resources we will use in mutual exclusion, it is a non-shareable. Why? Because in mutual exclusion it will allow only one resource and only one processes. So that resource must and should be non-shareable resource. So for example, you have to take printer. Printer is a shareable or non-shareable? It is a non-shareable resource. So for example, resource అనేది printer అనుకోండి, we cannot allocate more than one person simultaneously. Is it clear? That is the mutual exclusion. So we can't remove mutual exclusion. We can't remove the mutual exclusion, or also we can't make a mutual exclusion will be false. Why? Because so it is a non-shareable resource. So మీరు షేర్ చేయాలి అంటే there is a lot of problems in that. For example, you have to take a printer. Printer is a non-shareable resource, but so we cannot allocate more than one person. If you allocate more than one processes simultaneously, automatically it will lead the deadlock. So we can't make mutual exclusion will be removed or not make it a false. Next one is hold and wait. Try to do no hold and wait. Try to do no hold and wait. So no hold and wait, try to do no hold and wait means, so before entering the resources and resources, so at the beginning time you have to allocate the each and every process has some resources. We have to allocate the resources for each and every processes. So whenever a process requests a resource, it does not hold any other resources. Whenever a process requests a resource, it does not allocate any other resources. See here, required processes to request and be allocated all its resource, it's beginning its execution. It beginning its execution. Before execution, we have to allocate the requiring resources to that particular processes. Consider one example. You have to copy the data. You have to copy the data from from DVD drive to a file on the disk. We have to copy a data from DVD drive to a file on the disk and then print the data. This is the statement. We have example. This is the example. We have to copy the data from DVD drive to a file on disk and later we have to print the data. We have to perform this execution. A process can access which type of resources? DVD, and the next one is file, that is disk, file on disk, and next one is printer. So before execution, that is copying the data from DVD to a file on disk and later printer. So ఈ example తీసుకుంటే we have to requiring a process 3 resources. One is DVD, another one is disk, another one is printer. So before its execution, we have to assign all the resources to its process. So then it will not entering into the deadlock situation. I hope that you will understand. Hold and wait. But here some low resource utilization అనేది ఉంటుంది. Why? Because if you want some another process means before up to that it will execute the complete task and only it will release the resources. So here we can avoid the hold and wait. And next one, no preemption. Already I told you preemption and no preemption. So no preemption means we can't take forcibly a resource from one process to another process. So we have to wait up to that process completes its task. Later only there is a chance to get the resource for another process. So preempted, resources added to the list of resources. So for which the process is waiting. So already we have to discuss CPU scheduling algorithms. That is round robin algorithm. So round robin algorithm is a preempted. So here also each and every process we have to be allocated for some time quantum. So time quantum means we have to give some time. So this much amount of time must and should you have to use this resource and release the resource. So no preemption false చేస్తే ఏమవుతుందండి? So it will be a preemption. No preemption become false means it will be a preempted. So preempted means we have to release the, we have to use the time quantum to allocate the resources to a process. Preemption also possible. That is, you have to make it as a false. You have to make it as a false. And coming to the circular wait. So circular wait, and already we discussed what is the circular wait. If P1 wants a resource that is held by P2. If P2 wants a resource that is held by P3. If P3 wants a resource that is held by P4. If P4 wants a resource that is held by P1. This is a circular wait. So you have to avoid circular wait. So to remove circular wait, must and should we have to give the numbering of the resources. and the resources కి మీరు ఏం చేయాలి, we have to give the numbering. So numbering ఇచ్చినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, that process can request the resources. If a process can request the resources in increasing order, if a process requests the resources in an increasing order, so we have to do like this, we can avoid the circular weight. We can avoid the circular weight. So for example, for example, so circular weight means we have to remove the circular weight, just to give the numbers to all the resources, so that the process can request the resources in increasing order. For example, we have to take some resources are there, that is CPU. You have to allocate the resource or numbering as 1. The next one is printer. We have to allocate the resource number is 2. The next one is disk drive. Assume that next one is disk drive. The resource numbering is 3. In this way, we have to give the resources numbers. So, if a process P1, accessing a resource CPU, then what it accessing the number 1. Next, and also if a process P1 accessing a resource 2, if a process P1 accessing a resource 1 and a process P1 is accessing a resource 2, that is printer, we have to assume that P2 accessing a resource 3, P2 accessing a resource 3, and also P2 wants to accessing the printer, but it is not possible. Why? Because a process can request the resources in increasing order. So that means the resources number is in an increasing order. So for example, here scanner undanukondi, scanner, that resource number is 4. So P2 will not accessing, that is requesting the resources 2 and 1. Why? Because this is not an increasing order. So P2 will access 4. Why? Because it is an increasing the order. So the process can request the resources in increasing order only. So we will do like this, must and should. We can make sure that circular weight will becoming a false condition. So circular becoming will a false condition. Is it clear? So this is where we can make out the deadlock prevention. So prevention is better than cure. So before occurring the deadlock, must and should we have to prevent that deadlock. How? So there are 4 conditions, that is mutual exclusion, no preemption, hold and wait, circular weight. So we have to make sure that all the conditions must and should be make it as false. Otherwise, at least one condition we have to make it is false, then deadlock situation will not occur. Is it clear? So this is the concept of deadlock prevention. So see, deadlock prevention. So mutual exclusion not required. So we have to not required for the shared resources. Why? Because must and should be, it will be a non-shareable resource. Hold and wait. So next, no preemption, and next one is circular wave. So this is the concept of deadlock condition, deadlock prevention. So in deadlock prevention, must and should, you have to make all conditions must and should be false. Otherwise, at least any one of the one condition must and should be false. Then deadlock situation will not occur in your system. I hope that